Stop it. Stop it. That is exactly what I told him to say. Hey, it's good to be here. Well, welcome to Mesa Morning Live for this beautiful March Friday morning. Also, welcome to all the folks that are watching at home on Channel 11. We appreciate you being here. And you can come in person and be here. So check into that. We'd love to have the more the merrier when it comes to Mesa Morning Live. Hey, it's casual Friday for me because I'm promoting a little spring training action. I'm pretty much a hoe every day of the year. But this is one that I'm actually a hoe a week from tomorrow, the 17th. I'm going to be at the spring training game. It's the Oakland A's versus, do we know who they're playing? We don't care. It's going to be great. And I'm going to leave it to you guys because I think that the hoes will do this. Would you like to see me throw out the first pitch or sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game at the 7th inning? First pitch? How many people would like to see me throw out the first pitch? Round of applause. How many people would like to hear me sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game at the 7th inning stretch? I don't want to brag, but I think I could do just as good as Fergie. I'm pretty sure of that. So you heard, Sally. I think it would be awesome. One of those two. Yeah, very diplomatic. Well, welcome to Mesa Morning Live. Welcome to Crescent Crown Distributing. How about a nice round of applause for these guys for being our hosts. What a great place to have any meeting, and much less Mesa Morning Live. We'd also like to thank our behind-the-scenes sponsors, including Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, East Valley Tribune, Yvonne Martinez Photography. That's Yvonne running around with the camera. He's at the back. Cobblestone Auto Spa and Crescent Crown once again. Breakfast today is by Lisa's Catering and Cakes, courtesy of today's sponsor, Dexcom, and we'll hear more. Dexcom Inc., and we'll hear more from them in a little while. Don't forget on your way out to pick up your bags at the registration desk, full of all kinds of goodies. If you'd like to have your company represented in the goodie bag, make sure you stop and talk to them. Now would be a great time to give you a little heads up. Please silence your cell phones or any device you might have. If it goes off during Mesa Morning Live, we'll consider that a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So just as a courtesy to those on stage and those around you, silence your phones. So, well, we got about a 3-hour show. We got to condense into 1 hour, so we're going to move right along. Our first way, what a great way to kick off Mesa Morning Live, a check presentation. Joining me on stage now is the CEO of the Mesa Chamber. Please welcome Sally Harrison. Sally, come on up and talk about it. Take it away. Tell me what you're doing and who these guys are.
I'm the recipient, so I'm going to let them talk, okay? These are our friends from Las Palmas, and they've been very good to the Chamber and to our Veterans Program and the Mesa Veterans Resource Center, so I'll let them talk.
Yeah, we're the Las Palmas Veterans Group, and we've had several fundraisers for the Mesa Veterans Resource Center. And our latest fundraiser was the check that we are presenting today. So far, we've had 3 fundraisers, and we've donated over $10,000.
I just want to make sure that everybody understands. This little group here is the veterans group that's at Las Palmas, so they're the ones that are kind of driving this support for our veterans in Mesa. They're friends of Linda Haskell, so thank you, Linda, for the introduction. But the last fundraiser we did, Lee Huff, who you guys know from Congressman Biggs' office, did his Elton John impersonation and did a concert for us. So the $5,200 came from one evening at Las Palmas with just a nice concert and some silent auction items. So it can be done. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, you guys.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you very much to you guys, and special thanks to Lee Huff for doing that. Very talented Elton John tribute artist. And Sally, now, where do you bank? Do you literally take that big check into the bank?
Through the cash machine.
Oh, the cash machine, you just jam it in there. Make sure you endorse that, and that's awesome. And boy, you know what? $5,200, at 5201. So that just shows you they're not messing around. They're not rounding off. Every dollar they raise goes to the veterans. So thank you very much. All right, let's kick this thing off. Please put your hands together and welcome today's sponsor guest. Joining us from Dexcom Inc., please welcome the site manager for their new Mesa facility, Mr. Jim Castleman. Jim, come on up. Welcome, sir. Grab a seat. Welcome to Mesa Morning Live, and welcome to Mesa. Tell us a little bit about who Dexcom is.
Sure. Dexcom, we're new to the Mesa area. We've been operating here for less than a year, and it's a continuous glucose monitoring company that supports patients with type 1 diabetes. Founded in 1999 in San Diego, and that's where the headquarters and most of the corporate offices are. So we are new to the Valley and super pleased to be here.
Well, welcome to Mesa. What made Mesa jump out as where you want to locate?
A couple factors were really key for the company. The proximity to San Diego, so the ability of myself and others to travel back and forth very quickly. The cost of real estate here was quite impressive compared to San
Less than
Diego.
San Diego?
Yeah, quite a bit.
No, it's weird.
And the available workforce that was here drew us out, absolutely.
And I know I don't want to cut you off, but you're probably also going to say, and the opportunity to be on Mesa Morning Live.
Yes, this has been the highlight for the year.
I would think so.
Yeah.
He did that with a straight face. That was awesome.
I've only been to Vegas once.
You've only been to Vegas?
Yeah,
Well,
so I can keep a straight face.
What happens there stays there, Jim. Tell us a little bit about the history of Dexcom.
Again, founded in 1999 in San Diego, and it was a company that's focused on providing patients with a means to read their glucose levels on a continual basis. And the first device was actually surgically implanted, and it looked to be about the size of a AA battery. And that's quite invasive, and you put it in, well, then you got to take it out, you got to put a new one in, and it's not convenient for a patient. And what we've gotten to is where we have a very super thin, specially coated sensor wire that just gets inserted below the skin and gives a patient their blood glucose reading every 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it goes to a smartphone device or a receiver, and patients can see where their blood glucose level is trending up or down. Finger pricks, you can forget about those. You just go about your day. It really empowers the patients to be able to manage their blood glucose levels before they need to interject with an insulin injection. So
That's awesome. So somebody can just go, oh, wow, it's a little low. I need a bite of candy.
absolutely. In fact, I've been on tours of the facility. We're just over on South Dobson Road. It was in the summer. I was taking one of our board of director members around on a tour, and all of a sudden his phone started to chirp. And he pulls it out and he goes, oh, I better get something to eat. And I had no idea that he was a Dexcom user. And he goes, hold on a second, I need to text my wife, because if I don't tell her I'm okay, because she gets the same alerts that he does, she will be calling me. So he breaks out his phone and he texts and says, I'm okay. And we went about our tour, and he got a snack about 15 minutes later, and he was good to go.
That is what, I have the opposite thing. My wife texts me during the day and tells me not to eat. And
It's like a personal problem.
It's pretty obvious I'm not paying attention to those texts. Well, that's cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the economic impact for Mesa. You have a couple of employees, I'm guessing?
Yes, we have a few now. This time last year, Mark, we had just finished the construction phase, and we had 0 employees working in the building. Today, we have more than 300.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. Good for you. And tell us again, where's the physical location?
It's on South Dobson Road, just north of Broadway. The railroad tracks runs right along the back fence, so I know when the freight train comes through. And it's a beautiful facility, 148,000 square foot facility. We have a controlled environment room within which we make our sensor wires, because those do get implanted below the surface of the skin, and need to make sure that we look out for the patient's health. We don't want any infections coming along with that. So we do it in a controlled environment. We terminally sterilize all of the wires before they go out for distribution.
So the patient just goes to the regular doctor and they insert that, or is there a
Patient
special?
does it him or herself.
Really?
It is super easy to do. You don't have to go to your doctor to do this.
Wow, that's very cool.
It's a piece of cake.
In keeping with kind of our theme,
Yeah,
we
piece
had
of
the
cake.
veterans up here, piece of cake, I like that. We had our veterans up here earlier. I understand you're a 20-year veteran.
Yes, that's correct.
And what, yeah, there we go. And a Marine veteran, so thank you for your service. We appreciate that. And without getting in too deep in the weeds here on the technical thing, can you kind of tell us a little bit, is there anything more we need to know about with the Dexcom
We've gone
device?
through 5 generations of the product, and we're about to go into our 6th. Each one gets progressively better, easier for the patients to use. It was approved a little over a year ago by the federal government for Medicare and Medicaid, so there's a lot of uptake within the United States and also around the world for our product. It's the ease of use and the accuracy of the data that the patients love the most.
Now, are you manufacturing those devices here in town now?
We are just about to launch into commercial manufacturing. Being an FDA-regulated industry, Mark, you have to go through very rigorous preparatory states or activities. And by the end of this month in March, we expect to be commercially manufacturing.
That's awesome. So in a year, you've gone from 0 employees to 300.
Yes.
Crystal ball, a couple years down the road, what do you see happening?
We have the ability to add 2 additional controlled environment manufacturing spaces. Our current one is over 10,000 square feet in space, and we can add 2 more of those. So we can triple our output in the coming years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Welcome to Mesa.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to, you'll find it's a great place to do business, and we're glad you're here. You're a benefit to the community, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
How about a big round of applause, Mr. Jim Kausman? Thanks, Jim. Thanks for coming. Good job. All right. Our next segment is sponsored by Gateway Bank. They have been working successfully for more than 10 years to earn the opportunity to do business with you. Please welcome to the stage, representing the Idea Museum, Executive Director, Sonny O'Rourke. Sonny, come on up. Welcome, Sonny.
Morning.
Good to have you here at Mesa Morning
Great
Live.
to be here.
Pardon me for not getting up. I'm all tethered into my little controls here.
problem.
I'm thinking about installing one of those things that will tell me when to eat. I'm going to do that after the show.
You know, my dog is diabetic, and I would love to know when they would develop that for animals. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be. Huh? Little thing on the collar buzzes, and you
Yes.
know it's time to give. Oh, that's awesome. Good for you. Well, tell us a little bit about the Idea Museum. I know it's got a long history, and I'm unaware of any of it, so give us some knowledge here.
Well, thank you so much for having me here, Mark. The Idea Museum is actually 40 years old this year. We started as the Children's Fine Arts Center, and we became the Arizona Museum for Youth, and then 4 years ago, we reimagined ourselves to the Idea Museum, which stands for Imagination, Design, Experience, Art. And we are known for wonderful Whiteman Family Gallery that has changing exhibitions, and right now we have Sonoran Safari, which showcases 25 different artists with different materials, painting, pastels, digital media, sculpture, such as bronze, and we have Artville, which is very popular for 0 to 4-year-olds, a developmental space, as well as the Hub Gallery.
Well, now it's called a kids museum, but is it just for kids?
No, actually, we're for your child and the child within you. We love it when adults come and play. It's a lot of fun to see them playing. It's great. We have the highest interaction between adults and children in the country. 82% of our visitors come because they want to interact with their child. So you don't see too many adults sitting on the sidelines on their iPhone.
That's awesome. Tell us about the exhibits. How do those get chosen, and how often do they change? And
we have a variety of ways that we create our exhibitions. Sometimes we have suggestions from our public or our members, but we have a team of educators and also curators who select the art and decide on what's best. So for example, Sonoran Safari was a theme because the schools study that, and actually it's amazing when you really learn about the environment here. And so that was one of the topics. This summer we're going to have, because a lot of times we have fun exhibits in the summer since the kids are out of school, and that's going to be about toys and games. And then next fall, we'll have an exhibition about space. So it varies.
well, it's always great when you can stimulate a child's awareness to a lot of things. And it's important to be aware of a lot of things. How many people were aware that we just had a $20 donation to the United Food Bank? Anybody hear that? Where did that come from? Who's our lucky, is somebody back that way? Whose phone went off? Did they leave? Well, we'll make sure there's a $20 cover charge when they walk back in. So, well, anyway, I didn't want to
I think we should double it and 20 to the museum as well. What do you think?
Yeah. When you're warned and it still goes off, I triple it.
Okay.
Now let's just we'll cover that when they come back in. Now you have an event coming up tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We are really thrilled about this because it's called the 4th trimester. Everyone knows about 3 trimesters when babies are developing. But often it's challenging for families. It's a big change. And so we have a wonderful person who's founding this particular event, and we are co-sponsoring it. Her name is Jenny Bever, and she is a lactation specialist, a professor at ASU. And her idea was really to create a conference where there would be a variety of different resources for families to support them. So we're going to have things such as intimacy after a child is born. Also, we'll have meditation and different ways to relax, and different health organizations will be there to help the family. So we're really excited about it. And we want it to be an annual event. And we also are having monthly sessions in developing a community. And it goes right along, Mark, with our emphasis on early childhood development. Start then and all the way through life.
That's awesome. Hey, just out of curiosity, those of you that are here today, round of applause if you've been to the Idea Museum. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
And those of you that aren't clapping really don't have any excuse to not go.
No, we'd love to have you visit us. We're really not far from here. We're located on the cross streets of Country Club and Robeson on 150 West Pepper Place.
That's awesome. Now, people that want to get involved, how can they do that? Can they make donations? Do you need volunteers?
We need all of the above. In fact, I want to give a shout out to Jen Duff, who's here, who's on our board. And she knows all about fundraising since she did a lot of that on our board. We are a public-private partnership with the City of Mesa and the museum board. So if you go online, go to ideamuseum.org, and there's a way to donate online, as well as we always are looking for new board members and volunteers, so you could also see me after this.
Okay, that's great. And you're going to hang around afterwards and answer the questions?
I wouldn't miss it.
We got time. If anybody's got a quick question for Sunny, we can do that. Otherwise, think about your question. Oh, Jennifer's got something she'd like to say. Hey, we've got a microphone coming.
About the luncheon.
Yes, so on April 5th, we're having a wonderful luncheon, and it is called Nourishing Bright Futures for Children, and that is our main fundraising event. It's a free event to come to the luncheon, and there are postcards available. We hope you'll join us, and we do ask for a donation. There's no minimum or maximum, and that really does support us.
I like that, no maximum. That's important to remember that.
We'll take a nice big check like what was presented today.
You know what else we could do? Maybe as a fundraising effort, there's a beautiful set of golf clubs behind you. Maybe we can auction those off. Our guest will be out later. He might have a problem with that. But,
that's a great idea.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you very much. Keep up the, and boy, you know what? You just can't engage kids early enough. So
It's true. It's very important to develop their executive function so they can make the right choices in life and be able to really be contributing citizens when they get older. There's a lot of studies on that, and really it's much better to prevent what could happen if they don't have the right start, because once they get behind, Mark, they're like that through life.
If you'd like to have a poster person for what happens when you make bad choices, I am available for that.
You mean
a big photo of
you got
me.
no development as a little boy, little baby?
I have an inner child, and I still argue with that kid.
Well, come to the museum. We'll help your inner child.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
And let's all go see her at the Idea
Thank you very
Museum.
much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Sonny. All right, this is going to be fun. Normally, these guys just show up and entertain us, but today is going to be fun. We're going to actually get to get up close and personal with the people that started the whole Dutton thing. So please welcome, as they join me on stage, Dean and Sheila Dutton. Come on up. Welcome, Sheila. Good to see you here. And this gentleman right behind you, Dean, good to see you.
Howdy, good to see you.
The matriarch and the patriarch of the Dutton dynasty.
Thank you. That would be us.
Well, that's awesome. Well, tell us what's going on. This is exciting. We're going to hear from you guys in a little while, but tell us about the show and what's happening.
Well, 40 years ago this year, we made our first major television appearance on the largest TV network in Europe. And we had no idea at that time that we would be looking forward to today, this afternoon at 5:30 p.m., our television series with the pilot episode will premiere on RFD TV, which is a national TV network, airs all over the country.
That's
now,
awesome.
We are really excited about that.
40 years.
40 years.
So 40 years ago, so 40 years ago, you guys were on TV when you were both, what, 5 or 6?
Right.
Yeah, right. And the ones that will be featured today in the musical number weren't even thought of at that time. But to get the details on our show entitled The Duttons Through the Years, which will air every Friday from now on at 7:30 Eastern. So that will be 5:30 today, but next week, it'll be at 4:30.
We figured that out.
So go to our website, theduttons.com, and go to the menu, click on TV. You'll be able to see a little preview trailer of the show, a 90-second trailer. You can go to the news release, press release, and be able to see all the platforms on which you can access RFD.
Did you ever think 40 years ago you'd be talking about your website and Twitter and Facebook and all this?
I hadn't even heard those words before.
Did we have a computer then? I can't
No.
remember.
I don't think, if you did, you were ahead of the curve. Well, this is great. Now, I know it, I'm going to let you guys just kind of run with this, but at some point we're going to hear some of this unbelievable talent that's in your, this gene pool is unbelievable, folks.
Well, I want to say that all of the good-looking ones take after their mother and their grandmother.
Oh, that was smooth.
Yeah.
That is how you do it right there.
One of the reasons we are so excited about this, Mark, is that we have, ever since we were on America's Got Talent, well, and even before that somewhat, we've been approached by networks to do series. but we've never really had the feeling that it was a good fit. We did not like the way that people wanted to portray. They wanted us to be more controversial than we wanted to be. And so we find now that we have just kind of grown into this opportunity with RFD TV. They aired our Christmas special this past Christmas season. And the programming director said, I'd like to talk to you about this series I hear that you are filming. And that led to a great relationship, which gives us total creative license.
Oh, that's great.
And we can do what we want. So, and it's a perfect target market for us. It gives us just the right amount of noticeability to promote what we do, we think.
Well, and you do, I'm looking at the screen here, it talks about your theater here in Mesa. Tell us a little bit more about, these folks need to come and see a full show. Today they're gonna just get like a little sampler platter, but they need to come see the whole menu, don't they?
Right, and well, and I think we might have 50 or 60 seats left for tonight. We're gonna have a great show at 7 o'clock tonight, but at 5:30 we are inviting a few VIPs. You can consider yourselves that. And come and have a popcorn bar with us and watch the premiere episode. It's gonna be our big opening tonight. And if you know anybody who would like to help sponsor this, we are also looking for sponsors who want to sponsor good, clean family entertainment.
And tell them a little bit about what each episode will consist of.
The reason,
And how that came to be.
right. So it's kind of a fun story because we have great supporters across the country, people who are really big in the industry. And so we actually have more than one pilot that was being considered. But the one that RFD TV picked up was the pilot that I did. And I got, everything else cost a ton of money. You know, they want $100,000 per episode or whatever. And so I said, you know what, we're sitting on all this really wonderful footage from the past 40 years. We've had 5 national television specials, and we've just done a lot of isolated projects, but this is our first series. And as we were reviewing those a few months back, I thought, this is really fun to watch. Of course, I'm the mother, and the grandmother.
And a whole lot of that footage is from absolutely stunning, beautiful, exotic locations here in Arizona.
We are so proud of the way that we are depicting Arizona. It just thrills me, and I know that each one of you will be thrilled as you watch some of the amazing, spectacular scenery from Arizona. And also some of our friends. We did a music video at the Snep Farm. We did one at Rocking Our Ranch. If any of the rest of you want to have one at your location, just let us know. And it's just a fun way to showcase Arizona, we believe. And we also have footage, scenery from all over the country, from other countries. We filmed at the pyramids, we filmed on the cruise ships. We've, over the past 40 years, done a lot of filming. And that's what made this project to me so dear to me, it was reliving things I had forgotten. Pulling out old footage and laughing and crying over wonderful memories of the past 40 years. And each episode will have one musical number. They really wanted us to concentrate on the music and not too much reality, but there is a little reality behind the music stuff. So each episode has a number that is from the 80s. We call that the children years. Then we have a number from the 90s, which is the teenage years. That would be our children, not us. and then the rest of it, we call the current music that we have filmed primarily in our theater in Branson, Missouri, where we have HD cameras and all that stuff.
But it consists also of footage from the music videos from a whole lot of it from here in Arizona and from around the country and other countries in the world.
So because we have creative license, we can put in what we want. So we have a little bit of music videos, we have on-stage live performances, we have We have some really funny things that have happened that just some cameraman happened to be there and catch on camera. So, and we have some guest artists tonight. Grammy Award winner Billy Dean, excuse me, Billy.
Oh, he's awesome.
I love Billy, is going to appear in the music video that we're showing tonight as part of the series.
We keep hearing music. Let's get some music going up here.
Let's do it.
These young men got out of bed early. Let's get them up here. And do you want to, as they're getting all set, do you want to give us a rundown? Tell us who these guys. Do you remember everybody's name here?
I do, and I can do that. I do want to say that this is kind of a milestone because this group was just formed for the March show. And they love it. They love performing together. They want to become a group. And this is their television debut this morning.
Beautiful.
So here closest to us is Nathaniel. He is...
Jonathan.
Help me with the age. Oh, you're 11, right? 12. Okay, so here we go. We haven't grown as fast as Dexcom. We only went from 7 to 50, but I still have a hard time remembering their ages. All right, next is Julian, and he is 13. And after Julian is Damien. Damien is 11. And then Timmy, who is 15.
Yeah. Perfect.
And you normally see the back line perform when we are here, but backing them up today are their two of the dads, Timothy and Jonathan, and our wonderful drummer, Rob Wilson.
I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy. I sure am blue.
She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been.
Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye.
I'm through with romance, I'm through with love, I'm through with counting the stars above.
And here's the reason that I'm so free. My loving baby is through with me. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, happiness. Hello, loneliness. I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye, sweet caress. Hello, emptiness. I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye.
Yeah. Well, that was just a little taste of what you can get when you go see the Duttons. Thank you so much for coming out. Congratulations on the show tonight. Let's watch 5:30 tonight, and then from then on to be 4:30 once the time changes. But
Right, and remember to check our website if you've forgotten how to get to it, theduttons.com.
perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate you coming in. Big round of applause for the Duttons. Thanks, guys. Those kids are amazing. I mean, other kids their age are playing with fidget spinners. They're putting a band together. That ain't right. Well, it's time for the Mesa Morning Live Top 10. It's finally the weather we've been waiting for. This is the perfect time of year to get out and play golf. And with our little golf theme, and you're going to see that in our special guest coming up, we thought we'd make this the top 10 best golf quotes that we could find. Top 10 best golf quotes. So number 10, If you drink, don't drive, don't even putt. That's from Dean Martin. Number 9, the only sure rule in golf is he who has the fastest cart never has to play the bad lie. From Mickey Mantle. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Number 8, I have a tip that can take 5 strokes off anyone's game. It's called an eraser. That's the king, Arnold Palmer. Number 7, I'm the best. I just haven't played yet. Muhammad Ali. Number 6 comes from Ben Crenshaw. I'm about 5 inches from being an outstanding golfer. That's the difference. My left ear is from my right. Boy, is that the truth. It's such a mental game. Number 5 from Lee Trevino. I'm not saying my golf game went bad, but if I grew tomatoes, they'd come up sliced. That's awesome. Number 4 from Hank Aaron. It took me 17 years to get 3,000 hits in baseball. It took 1 afternoon on the golf course. I think there's an honest guy. Number 3 from Mark Twain. It's good sportsmanship to not pick up lost golf balls while they're still rolling. Number 2 from Will Rogers. Golf is good for the soul. You get so mad at yourself, you forget to hate your enemies. And the number 1 top golf quote from former President Gerald R. Ford. I know I'm getting better at golf because I'm hitting fewer spectators. Top 10 golf. Hey, we're going to have a new segment debuting today. This is going to be called This Day in Mesa Morning Live History. We're going to test your knowledge of Mesa Morning Live. Please welcome, please join me in welcoming to the stage this month's sponsor, the one and only from Ocean Air, Mr. Michael Picard. Mike, come on up. Come on up, Mike. Mike is taking his time trying to get more applause. Yeah. Hey, welcome, buddy. Good to have you back. And tell us about Ocean Air. Give us a quick commercial for you guys.
Quick commercial for us. Okay, summer comes. How many of you are looking forward to summer and glad that god-awful week and a half of winter is over, by the way? Jeez. Summertime comes, you get out, you go to San Diego, you go to Mexico. Who wants to hit the beach in the summertime from here? Raise your hands. Come on. Yeah, see, when you want to be comfortable, you go to the ocean. That's Ocean Air Air Conditioning. Come see us. That's all we got in the desert.
That was pretty smooth. I
was reaching.
You can almost feel the cool ocean breezes, can't you?
Trust it.
The ocean air. There you go. All right, cool. Well, so what we're going to do today is I need to draw. I need to draw somebody.
So we need a drawing thingy.
I need a basket of cards, and we're going to have our guest come up. Oh, is this them? No, those are your cards. Pretty sure you would win that. You can tell that this is our first time doing this because we're a little unorganized, but it's worth it just to watch Bob Nelson run.
We are the only people ever to get to see that.
Boy, this could, that was frightening. Okay, he reached in. That was so smooth. And
got the agility of a bison.
He's going to go over there and collapse. Okay, our winner is going to join us up on stage. Oh, this is awesome, and he's close by and everything. Please welcome from 4 Points by Sheraton, David Barnes. Come on up, Dave. Come on, Dave. Come on, Barnesy. Okay, Barnes is going to get a question from Mike Picard, and what's he going to win if he gets a? I'm taking that he's not going to win, but if he were to win, what would he win?
If you manage to get this right, it's a $100 Visa gift card to you. Yes. Pardon me?
Can I ask a friend? Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Here's the deal. First, here, give him the microphone. Dave, quickly tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, the 4 points, and then go ahead and do that. We're working the bugs out of there.
Dave Barnes. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at the 4 Points by Sheraton at Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. I'd love to have, if you got friends and family coming in, I'd love to be able to take care of you.
Perfect. Now, he's going to ask a question. If you need to phone a friend, but you can't phone, you just got to ask somebody here. You can't ask me, because I know everything about Mesa Morning Live. You cannot ask Channel 11, because they document it all.
Sally?
No, you cannot ask the staff. Sally doesn't hardly know anyway.
Nor anybody in a white shirt.
Anybody in a white shirt. But I have a feeling we thought we'd kick this off with a pretty hard question. Mike, go ahead and ask him the question. Do you need to read it?
I can read it. I think I got it.
Okay, here's the big question.
Is the answer up there?
Okay, remember now, do not, really long, do not shout out the answer. Seriously now, this is important. Do not, it does not have to be in the form of a question. This is not Jeopardy. Okay, and we can't read below that because of the thing.
All right, thanks for coming, Dave. We can't see it. Let me move to this side of you. The musical act, or this musical act, has appeared on Mesa Morning Live more frequently than any other act. Who is it? Time's up.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Duttons.
Yeah! Actually, you're wrong. It was Hall & Oates. But we'll accept the Duttons. Congratulations, you won a $100 gift card. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for being our kickoff. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that's awesome. And if you'd like to be a part of sponsoring next month's this week in history of Mesa Morning Live, talk to the staff on your way out. So, all right. This is going to be fun. I was not here when this gentleman was here the first time, but I heard it was a blast. That's why he's back. Please welcome, this is his second appearance. Please welcome the PGA Teacher of the Year and owner of Malaska Golf, Mr. Mike Malaska. Come on up, Mike. Good to have you here, sir.
How you doing?
Good. Well, we tried to make this about golf, and when that was the topic, there was only one obvious guy to have, Mike Malaska. Tell us a little bit about who you are, your history, and your storied career holding a golf club.
Well, I've been around golf a long time. I mean, I started when I was in high school. I was a baseball player and picked golf up for something to do in the off season. Because at that time, golf was not, I mean, you were going to play one of the major sports. It wasn't golf. And you didn't even want anybody to know you did it. And now it's changed dramatically. And so I got involved in the game, and it's been quite the ride. So I played professionally for a long time. Struggled. You know, I started out, I was really good early and then struggled, like a lot of you do. And the struggle led me to learning more and more about the game, you know, physiology behind it, the physics behind it, to try to make it simpler for people to play. Because it was really easy for me when I first started. You know, I couldn't understand. I could hit a baseball coming at me at high speeds. You put a ball still on the ground, that's got to be easier. And people laugh, but it actually is. What we've done, though, is we've complicated the heck out of it because the ball is stationary. And so it's been my quest to kind of figure out what I had when I was young and then help people enjoy the game more, because that's really what we're all in. I mean, what the Duttons are doing and all that, we're all in the human development business. So everybody who's here today, you're designed to move. I mean, that's what you're designed to do. You develop and maintain yourself through motion. And so anything we can do to get you moving or participating in things, arts and all of that kind of stuff, is really good. And people are afraid of golf. You know, it's interesting for me to watch and listen to great athletes that go, you know what, I've been able to do everything really well, and I come to this stupid game, and I'm terrible. And I go, well, why is that? I don't know, but it's driving me crazy. So well, some of it's that, and a lot of it's just concepts. It's what are you really trying to do? You know, what are the things you're trying to do? You know, we're the only industry, the golf industry, that doesn't have a defined terms. So if you say weight shift in golf and you ask 10 different golf pros or people what it means, you get 10 different answers. If you say release, if whatever you say, there's multiple answers. If any industry had multiple answers or words that meant many different things, it'd be chaos. Well, that's kind of where we're at. That's where you're at. You're in chaos because you don't know even what you're trying to do. So my career has been all around, you know, those kinds of things and learning more about the game. I still participate myself in senior events, senior PGA championships and stuff. So I love to play the game. I love sports. And I love just working with people and seeing them outside doing things and moving and enjoying the challenge of different activities. So golf's just one of them.
Well, that is awesome, and you've figured out a way to help other people and enjoy the sport it's been a huge part of your life. Tell us a little bit, I know you're a modest guy, but tell us a little bit about the awards that you've won.
Well, I've been the section teacher of the year a number of times, which is in the local sections. And then in 11, I was the national teacher of the year, which for the PGA of America, that's like our Academy Award. I mean, you can't go any higher than that. So that was great and those come from your peers. So you're voted in from your peers. So you get it from providing education and information to the masses about the game, about health and wellness and everything that we're doing with golf and what we try to do with it. So those awards have been great, a lot of playing awards. And the game's just been really, really good to me. And my family has taken us all over the world. We lived in Japan for a few years, and I'm all over the world with Jack Nicklaus. So I see how golf and the culture of golf is different in every different part of the world. People believe the game to be different. So it's fitting into what they believe the game to be, which is really interesting.
Just out of curiosity, round of applause if you play golf occasionally. Round of applause if you do that. Now, round of applause if you play it as well as you'd like to. That's the cool thing about golf is you're always playing against the course, and you're playing against a number in your head that you want to hit. So
it is, and it's the way golf is set up. I mean, it's one of the few games where you can go out and you can have 4 people, all different levels. You could have a tour player, a decent player, say a 10 handicap, a 20 handicap, and a total beginner, playing in the same group, have fun together, and actually compete against each other, which very few sports allow you to be able to do that. And when it comes to families, the opportunity to be on the golf course with your family, with your kids, to get them for 4 hours or 3 hours, undivided attention is almost impossible. So golf offers a lot of opportunities to enrich families and lives and friendships and things like that. So it's a lot more than just a game. It's a lot more than just hitting the ball, even though that's what people seem to think it is. But there's a lot more to it than just that.
Yeah, it's such a great sport for your business. If you want to do some good business networking, there's no better place than the golf course. It's just, you get to know a lot about a guy by watching him on the golf course. And
yeah, you can learn a lot about people real quickly.
Yeah. And we haven't even played, and he kind of knows how I would be. A friend of mine growing up, his father rose to the rank of vice president of JCPenney's. This is back when JCPenney's was huge. And he said it was strictly because he was a scratch golfer and he could go out and do business deals. You got 4 hours with a guy, you can do a lot of business on the golf course.
No, it creates relationships. So youth, when they get involved with it, if they just play it decent, especially females in golf now, there's more and more of that. And I've been involved in corporate America my entire life with golf. And when you see a young female that can play the game and is in corporate America, they go right up the ladder really quick, because it is the game that corporate America can play, and they can all play it together. So whether or not you play the tour, I mean, that's such a small percentage, and we talked about that earlier, what it takes to do that. But the game itself provides so many opportunities for families and youth and business opportunities. It's incredible. I mean, you look at what golf does here in Arizona, you look at how many golf courses and how many businesses survive based on golf. You have resorts and everything. So there's a lot more to it than just hitting a golf ball, even though that's what everybody wants to do.
Yeah. I read the other day that if you want your child to be any good at golf, they really should start when they're about 5. Well, I didn't start when I was 5. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to play the sports that I did play when I was 5. So if you ever want to go out and do like Foursquare.
Yeah. Marbles, maybe.
I will rock your world, Mike. Marbles, yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. What did you ever? Where'd you grow up, by the way?
I grew up in Utah, in Salt Lake City. I was a big skier. Baseball, sports were whatever the season was. Basketball and all that. So, but I've been coming to Arizona for too long. 50 some odd years now.
But did you ever think back then that golf would be this huge? I mean, golfers are on first name. You say Ricky or Phil or Tiger, and everybody knows who you're talking about.
No, when I started, I knew Jack Nicklaus and I knew Arnold Palmer, okay? And And that was about it. And I really wasn't that interested in playing golf because it looked pretty silly to me. Like I say, it's a stationary ball, and you stand there and you hit it, and then you go get it again. I mean, I'm just like, this is, first of all, it's not very interesting, and can't be very hard. And like I say, I was lucky that I did it well early. I'm going to show you something here. If people understand what you're really trying to do with the game, there's so much information out there in our industry which kills people because you just have all this random information and you're trying to randomly pick something that you think is the tip of the week. Keep your left arm straight, keep your head down, whatever. But really it's a club face and a ball, and you hold the club face in your hand. So when good players are playing and they're looking at that ball, this club face is their hands. So they're looking down at their hands, and they play golf with their hands. And so if people just start to do that, when I teach and I put a club face in somebody's hand, I say, well, this makes it go lower, this makes it go higher, that curves it to the left, and this curves it to the right. You do it in the left hand, you put both hands together, and you go, there you go, now make your arm swing and hit it, that's it. Game over, get really good at that. And they go, you gotta be kidding me. So, no, that's really all it is. I mean, when I started playing, this was a baseball bat. That was the handle of the bat, and that was the toe of the bat. And all I was trying to do was hit a ball to center field. And I'm going, are you kidding me? How easy is this? And then I got pretty good. Then people said, oh, we got to get you taking some lessons and working on this. And then I got really bad. And so, like I say, I've spent my career around trying to figure out how to simplify down what golf is so people enjoy it and so that they get out and just get out and move. You know, the fitness industry now has come into golf.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all of a sudden now, it's a hard game. It takes a lot of time, costs a lot of money, and you better be in shape to play it. Who's going to sign up for that movie? I mean, it's like, it is not that hard. You don't have to be in shape. It doesn't have to take a lot of time. You know, so it's a great development game. So we got to, you know, people are afraid of it. You know, oh, what if I embarrass myself? And I go, well, you know, it's fun to be out and explore yourself physically and being involved in another motion activity. And by the way, they're all very much the same, so.
That's awesome. Yeah, it used to be that after an event way back in the day, they all ran to the bar, and now they've got the fitness trailer out there, and they're doing crunches. And that was a Gary Player kind of, he was the guy that really kind of.
He was the first one to really be involved in fitness. For a long time, they thought that being in shape was bad for golf.
Hey, I'm still promoting that.
And most of us support that, yeah. And you know, like I say, actually, for most people, if you go play golf, that is your fitness routine. I mean, if you just get up and move, you're better than you were. You're moving more. So, yeah, the tour now is, in my opinion, has actually gone too far. A lot of these guys are getting hurt. They're working out so hard they get hurt working out. And you're going, well, whoops, you're supposed to be working out so you don't get hurt. Now they're getting hurt working out. So it's a combination of the two things. You know, you definitely, if you want to play your best, being in shape is helpful. But for most people, you don't have to be in shape to play well. You don't have to be that physically strong to hit the golf ball a decent distance. You just have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, always, you know, because you're bigger than I am, but we're big guys. I see these little guys just hitting the heck out of the ball. And it's because they know what they're doing, and it's hand-eye coordination and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, for all of you, if you just stood and you just dropped your arms, you just put your arms out your side and you let them drop, that's enough arm speed to hit a golf ball over 200 yards. So unless your arms won't move independent of your shoulders, unless you're frozen like this, you can actually learn to play golf at a pretty good level if you know what you're doing. It's simple.
Let's go play right now, Mike. Well, I'm looking at your bag here, and I'm thinking maybe this is my problem. I don't have some of those fun little things. What do you got going on back there?
Well, a lot of it is just visual stuff. So everybody's played this game.
Wait.
Oh.
Okay, all right.
No, so you take baseball, and people say, well, you don't want your golf swing to be like your baseball swing. I go, yes, you do. It's almost exactly like a baseball swing. The only difference between really golf and baseball was when you hit a baseball, you're hitting it out in front of you out here. When you hit a golf ball, you're hitting it right here. So the pivot point, or what you do with the bat, is a little bit different point. It's a little bit different timing, but the motion is almost exactly the same. If I take it from up here and I just turn it and I put a ball there, So when I get really good baseball players, it's the first thing I do with them is I put a ball on a tee and I give them a bat. And they all put the ball up here. I say, okay, now let's move the ball right there. And they go, well, it would never get there. I said, well, humor me. You say you're a pretty good athlete. Can you make that ball go to center field? And they go, well, yeah, sure. So then they take the bat, boom, put it on the back of the ball. They go, oh, it's just a different pivot point. It's just a little bit different timing. So it's here instead of up here. And immediately, these baseball players hit it a long ways.
Yeah.
So a lot of golf, again, is we already know how to do it. If you've thrown a ball, that's the basic motion in golf right here. Serve a tennis racket, hit a baseball, hit a golf ball. I mean, that's the motion you're using. So a golf swing is really nothing more than this motion right here. That's all it is. That's my golf swing. If you can learn how to do this, you can play golf. All you have to do from there is your body starts to move a little more and you keep those same things, and that's it. And face control. That's not what you hear. I mean, you hear all this convoluted ideas. I went to a conference one time and the guy explained something to everybody. It took him about 3 minutes to explain it. And he says, do you think you could do what I just explained? And everybody went, no. He says, that's funny because I just explained how to walk. So.
But what if I can't do that?
Well, now we probably aren't playing golf. But, you know, so we've taken a simple motion pattern that we all know how to do, and because the ball's stationary, you're standing over it with this checklist of about 100 things, and so you really don't know what to focus on. So the game for me has been a lot about human development and how people learn. So I've learned how you learn, and again, we don't have a learning process in golf. In math, 2 + 2 is 4, okay? We can go on. Now, if you're getting 2 + 2 and you're getting 6, algebra is probably not your deal. It doesn't make algebra wrong. So what's the 2 + 2 in golf? Well, we haven't really decided what that is. And so people are out there trying to do algebra and they can't do basic math. And they're going, I'm struggling with this. I go, really? So, you know, it's like I say, it's been fun. I've been very fortunate to be at Lucentis and Superstition Mountain here in the Valley. Great facilities. I've been around golf all around the world. I work for Jack Nicklaus. He's been a good friend of mine for years, so I've had the opportunity to be around one of the greatest players, probably the greatest player to ever play the game. And it's been interesting for me to see how he processes information. And the golf game has allowed me to be with presidents of the United States, vice presidents, big company people. So you get to see the constants and successful people and how they perceive things and how they grew up. And it's been great.
So you're Lucentis and Superstition Mountain. People, do you give private lessons?
Yeah, I do. I do, for sure.
And off the top of your head, quick lightning round. Who's the celebrity that we'd all know that you've worked with that picked up the game and knows what they're doing and can play it really well? Anybody that's a...
Well, Kenny G, I've spent a lot of time with him. He went from a 15 handicap to about a 2 in less than a year.
Wow.
Doesn't surprise me, you know, he's a great short saxophone player, very dedicated, believes in perfection, was willing to work at it, which is another interesting concept. People go, I'm a 20, I'd like to be a 12, and preferably by next month, and I really don't practice much. And you go, okay, well, just play fewer holes. You know, so,
Yeah, see?
it's an easy answer.
That's why he gets the big bucks right
That's
there.
right.
All right, now who's the worst? Who's the guy you worked with and you went, there's no help, pick up tennis?
You know,
Please say Charles Barkley.
I didn't get a chance to work with Charles. I found that very interesting. Here's a superior athlete that was just totally mentally destroyed with the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, he in homage to him, he took it really well. I mean, he's been a great supporter of the game, and even though he struggled with it, he stays after it, you know. But yeah, for a talented athlete, that's about as bad as I've seen.
That's awesome. Well, I wish we had more time. Will you come back and do this again sometime in the future? I hope this hasn't ruined you for wanting to come back.
No, it's been great. No,
All right, good.
You guys, MalaskaGolf.com, you can go online, and I'm developing a learning site. So it's a structured learning program, which is really easy to follow. which I found interesting. Like I say in golf, we don't have a definition of terms. We don't have step 1, step 2. We have multiple instructors with all these different ideas about how to do it, and you're just getting more confused. So yeah, I'd love to come back anytime.
What's the website again?
MalaskaGolf.com.
And if you want to remember his name, just picture Homer Simpson playing golf. No, Homer Simpson talking about Alaska, he'd be like, Alaska. MalaskaGolf.com. That was a stretch. I haven't had much sleep, Mike.
And that's how you make the big bucks?
Hey, thanks so much. Stick around if anybody's got any questions, real quick. The first lesson's free. It'll take like 20 seconds. And then, boy, go. It's such a great game. It's so much fun. And it would be so much fun to learn how to play the game. So go see Mike Malaska. Thanks, guys. Real quick, because we stayed. I kept you a little long today. We're going to turn you loose to the world. I'd like to thank everybody that was our guest today. I'd like to thank our sponsors. Once again, Crescent Crown Distributing for this great place to have our monthly meeting. Go out and see a spring training game. It's a great way to support professional sports and also give back to the city of Mesa. So go see a game. And with that, we'll see you next month at Mesa Morning Live. Go out and make it a great day, folks.